model.
Model.
Okay. Yeah. So that's very important for the interview, and very important that a tester should understand what is a waterfall model, how it is executed. As a tester, you should not be focusing which model is better. Will you get an opportunity to change from waterfall model to agile? No. Not even developer, not even architects, not even BA will have that opportunity. Only opportunity will have a PM and the sales team who will talk to the customer. Remember, we have a bidding process. After the bidding process, customer will tell the requirements. When the sales team, along with the PM, they will attend the customer meetings, then they'll understand the customer problem statement or what is the customer requirements. Based on that, the company will suggest to go with certain model. Or sometimes customer only say that, hey boss, I want this model. Right? In both the cases, the project is executed on that particular life cycle. Now, we understand to understand the next topic, right? To understand next topic, we need to understand what are the drawbacks of waterfall model. Okay, what are the drawbacks of waterfall model? What do you mean by drawbacks? What are the disadvantages? Correct? Guys, don't sleep. Afternoon nicely. AC is on, fan is on. Like radio, I'm keep on talking. Like radio, you put on your headphones. So please respond. Okay.
Oh, AC,
Okay,
nothing.
Vinod.
Yeah, now don't tell me after getting testing job only you'll purchase AC. Okay, please don't put that conditions. Okay.
Everything
Yeah.
related to.
Yeah, now I know everything related to testing only. Okay. Now it is exam for me. I have to pray that people should get a job. Otherwise, everything you'll put on testing only. That we know there's told testing classes, no job till now. What is the use? Right? Okay. So what are the first what is the first disadvantage that we discussed? The waterfall model is something which is
Sequential.
once,
It is not
yeah,
as
it is
sequential.
sequential model.
Allow any
Correct?
changes.
Right.
Not change
It
any
is
middle of
sequential.
the
So we'll
Cannot
have
change
we'll
anything in the middle of the
Will
project.
not allow
correct.
any
We
changes.
cannot
in
change anything once we fixed it.
Oh my God, you people are really ready for the exam. Now only.
Yeah,
No,
putting
and
lot
let's
of
stop the class and let's continue the interview. You are ready for the interview. You are very energetic. Good to see. Good to see all those. Okay, so let me share. Now let's not get into disadvantages. You already know it. You're already ready to fire now. So let's not get into it. Okay. Now we'll see what is the important disadvantage. Okay. Now see we have different phases, right, in waterfall model. How many phases? Somewhere around six
six
phases,
phases.
right?
Six.
Six
Six
phases.
phases.
Right. Now imagine this phase started around January 1st January 2024. And by the time this phase completes, just example, I'm saying all the phases completed, let's say December 2024, right? And the product is ready at the maintenance phase just before deployment. The product is ready. Imagine this is a product. Now, the customer, what he thinks, right? So, customer is ready. Okay, let me. Okay, the customer is ready, and he wants to look at the demo. And at the right point of the demo, customer is saying, "Hey, I thought it is, I thought it is a circle, but you have delivered this shape, which I don't know at all." And just give an example. I thought this is a circle, but you have delivered this. No, no. Can you please change it to this one? I want this one, not this one. It means the customer is not able to see the end product till all the phases are completed. That is one of the major disadvantage. Okay. Now, what is another disadvantage? Now, let's say after this, let's say this is the current stage now. After, let's say how many months? Let's keep it this as a somewhere around July, right? Somewhere around July. Customer came back and say, hey, guys, I have something change in mind. So can you please change this requirement to something else? Can you add one more requirement in the month of July? So waterfall model will not encourage any changes at any point of the time. What is that? Waterfall model will not encourage any changes at any point of the time. So now this guy Ramya is asking, I don't know, I've already sent that. Why she's asking? Let me copy and send to this one here, guys. I don't know why this is coming like this. Copy the link. 1 minute. She's running. Okay. Here she is. I will rejoin. Suddenly my PC got shut down. What is this? Okay. Sorry. Right. In the middle of the phases, right? Waterfall model will not encourage, will not allow changes. That is the biggest problem of waterfall model. It will not welcome changes. Now, in this world, right? In this world, example, right? Now, a simple example I'll tell you, which is I mean, you people I come across every day, right? See, we go to shops, right? We go to shop and we purchase a dress or some material or something items. So especially when we purchase dress, right? So in few shops, right, they'll tell there will be no return policy. There will be no return policy at all. Whatever you are selecting, that's it. There is no return policy. But when you look at few other online shops like Amazon or Myntra or XYZ, they'll say 14 days of return policy. Which shopping you prefer? You'll go to a shop where there is no allow of return policy, or you pick up a shop which has a 14 days of return policy. Which one will you pick up as a normal customer?
14
We choose
days.
Correct.
online
So
shopping.
I know you people are very good in shopping, especially all ladies, and right? But return policy matters a lot, right? Because every day market is dynamic. Every day shops, vendors are coming up with different options. So we only go where the written policy is applicable. Any point in 14 days, I can go back and say, I don't need this. Right? The same way in the IT world also, the customers keep changing their mindset. Today they want something else. Tomorrow they want differently. Day after tomorrow it is different. Right? Based on the market, they want to change their requirements. And most of the customer, trust me, they'll not have a clear requirements. They'll not be a clear requirements. They'll not come up with clear requirements. This is one of the biggest challenge in IT industry. This is the biggest challenge in the IT industry. They do not have a clear picture of requirements. So whenever there is no clear picture of requirements, the waterfall model is not the right one. The waterfall model is not the right one. Always, right? So when we go for a waterfall, we discussed yesterday, whenever it is a short-term project, whenever we have a clear goal, whenever customer knows what it is, what he requires, Whenever customer doesn't want any change in the middle of all the phases, then only we'll go for a waterfall model. Now, guys, whatever we are discussing right now, the next session today and which will be continued tomorrow are very, very, very important for your life. When I say life, it's not no, throughout your life in terms of testing. Though you move to a developer role, right? Though you move to a right, though you move to a different role like a developer or a architect or a BA or a project manager or a different, you will be working in this model throughout your career. Trust me. So you have to understand what is this model, how it is executed in real time, what happens, right? So there are two areas. One guys. So there are two areas to understand this. Right? One, which is completely a theory part. One which is a completely it is a theory part. Okay. Right? Two, which is a practical part. So what we will be looking at for some time, we'll try to understand what is the theory part. All right. Now we know SDLC model have SDLC model have two models. There are many in that case. There are many, but the important models are what? One is waterfall model. The other one is what? The other one is agile model.
Agile.
Agile model. Agile model. AGILE. Very, very important, guys. You will grow. You can be a after testing role, right? You can become an agile coach. You can become an agile certified. There are a lot of certifications in agile, right? So this you can scale up different levels in IT career. You may not be in testing role for a longer time. So if you understand this agile, this will give you a lot of bread and butter in future, lot of good roles, lot of good opportunities in future. Okay, try to spend more time. It doesn't mean that you should only follow my sessions. You explore in Google, you explore in YouTube, you study, try to understand. See, agile is more of a mindset. Agile is there is nothing called what you see physically. Like Nandana, can you please go on mute? Okay, thank you. Right. So, like the documentation, what you see, FRS, XYZ, you don't see agile in reality. Agile is something your mindset. That is a process, that is a methodology that people, right? No one will tell this not giving the offer letter. This is your mindset.
Vinod,
This
your voice is not clear.
following.
We couldn't
Okay.
hear you properly. Yep.
Gangadhar, can you go on mute? Nagatulasi?
Yes, Vinod, your voice is not clear. So that's why.
Is it same for others?
Yeah,
Yeah.
somehow it's clear.
Oh.
Sometimes
Now
little
it is cracking.
the volume.
Yeah, I don't know. It is maybe some network issue. Yeah. Okay. So what I was telling, right. We are talking about the agile, right? Let me see. Maybe because of the screen sharing, it is bandwidth is not supporting. Okay. All right. Now, what is the agile methodology? Okay. Now, please understand waterfall model was a sequential, right? Waterfall model was a linear sequential model. But whereas agile is a kind of a software development process which happens incrementally, which happens iteratively. It means the whole project is divided into small chunks, and each chunk is planned, designed, developed, tested, deployed. Each time the small pieces of project is planned, designed, developed, tested, deployed. Instead of whole project, all Agile says, whole process, instead of developing the whole project at a time, you divide the whole project into workable pieces, right? Which can be developed, tested incrementally, and delivered to the customer, right? Now, what it says is instead of in-depth planning for project at beginning, now unlike waterfall model, we have to plan at the requirement gathering phase about all the requirements. Now, what do you mean by this? Now, let's say there are 10 requirements in the project. When we follow waterfall model, all the 10 requirements should be discussed at the requirement gathering phase. Correct? Do you agree?
Yes.
You agree,
Yes,
everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
right?
Vinod.
All the requirements
Vinod.
should be thoroughly discussed and should be documented in FRS. All the requirements will go into the next phase. Once analysis completes, only it will move on to the next phase. It means in waterfall model, every stage, the goal has to be achieved. Otherwise, it will not move on to the next stage. But whereas in Agile, what it says, instead of planning whole requirements of 10 requirements at a time, you plan out of 10, take 2 requirements at a time. You gather the requirements, you do the analysis, you do the designing, you do the testing, the development, you do the testing, you give the demo to the customer, you deliver it. Right? Now, what is that? Agile methodology starts open to change requirements over time progresses and expect constant feedback from the end user. Now, very important, guys. Please concentrate here. Every line, it makes a lot of sense. Now, what it says, agile methodologies are open to changing environments. It means waterfall model will not welcome changes at any stage, but agile model welcomes changes. Customer can knock any time, any phase, asking us to change the requirements. That is what the agile model is all about. But it also get the feedback. Now, what is that feedback what we are getting? Now, right, we hold 10 requirements. What Agile is saying, take only small requirements. Out of 10, we have taken 2 requirements. 2 requirements are planned, designed, developed, tested. We have given demo to customer. Customer is looking at the demo for the 2 requirements. Hey, wonderful. The small demo is looking fine. Instead of 10 requirements, so you have developed only first login page. Then login page will move on to the inbox page. Very good, excellent. But the 2 pages looking, the color is little bit very awkward. Or can you make these changes in the next demo? Then what we are receiving for the first requirements, 2 requirements, we are receiving a feedback from the end user. Person who's looking at the demo is giving the feedback to us. That feedback, whenever we are starting the requirement gathering session for the next 2 requirements, we will keep that in mind. Customer was asking about this, then that feedback will be implemented in the next 2 requirements. Getting my point, guys? You understand what is that? Changes and the feedback.
Yes.
In Agile, this is very important. Where Agile welcomes changes and Agile gives us constant feedback to the developers, constant feedback to the testers. Very important. That we'll see. Now we are covering the theory part of Agile. We'll see how the practical is implemented. Now, another very important, you see, when someone is saying, hey, my project is running on Agile environment. Again, I repeat this. If someone is saying my project is, if my, like someone is saying my project is running on agile environment, it means they have implemented Scrum framework while developing the projects. There is no agile framework to be implemented. Agile is a mindset, Scrum is a framework, right? So practically you can see the Scrum framework by keeping the agile mindset. Okay, so we'll see the practicality of the agile, the Scrum framework after these sessions. But right now, we have to understand what is the agile mindset. Very, very, very important. Now, we understand at this stage, agile is having two important one. So three important one. Agile is a incremental model, correct? Incremental approach.
Yes.
Second, agile welcome changes at any stage. Third, agile welcomes feedback from the users, regular feedback. Right? Very important. Now, in the agile process, right? In agile methodology, there is nothing called as FRS document. Like we have FRS document in software development lifecycle, but agile has a different naming convention. Agile has a document called as product backlog. We'll see that. Do not worry. Just I'm highlighting the important one here. Agile has, like you see, the business requirements. See the word here. The business requirements are formed as backlogs. See here. So don't go with the name as backlog, which is generally people think backlog is something is the previous one or the pending one. Or so in Agile, a backlog, if someone says it is a backlog in Agile, it means there are two. One, it will be a product backlog. Product backlog is something like a FRS document. Two, it might be a sprint backlog. So we'll discuss about this two things in more detail. But now just understand the agile will have this important terminologies. It's incremental model. It accepts changes. The planning is not required. The whole planning is not required at the beginning of the project. Agile welcome changes. In agile process, the project team gets feedback from the end users regularly. And here, the business requirements are captured in a document called as product backlog. Very, very important. Business requirements are captured in the product backlog, and right, let's say there are 10 requirements that we have discussed. Now I told you that we will start working on those two requirements. Now out of 10, which two requirements we should start? There are 10 requirements, and we don't know, right? I can pick up any two. Project manager can pick up any two. No, that not happen. Out of the 10 requirements, there is a person, right? There's a person called as product owner. There is a person called as product owner. He will be setting up the priorities of the 10 requirements. He will tell us, he will be from the customer side most of the time. He will tell us out of 10 requirements, which two requirements we should start, which three requirements we should start. He will tell us, he will prioritize. So you can see that statement now. I'm placing the mouse pointer. Business requirements are formed as a backlogs and prioritized according to its importance. Who will set this importance? Come on, guys. Please, can you please repeat
Product owner.
along with me? Product owner.
owner.
You need to
Product
Product owner.
right. These are all foreign particles. These are all foreign objects for you if you're listening for the first time. So you should get familiar with this naming convention. Product owner, product backlog, right? Now, these are all interview questions. Who will prioritize the requirements in agile methodology? You should tell product owner. Where will we find all the requirements of the project? You will find it in the product
Product
backlog.
backlog.
Correct? Now, which out of 10 requirements, product owner finalizes, let's say, 3 requirements. Those 3 requirements will be moved from the product backlog to a document called sprint
Print
backlog.
back.
Correct? Oh my God, who was that? Hanifa. Oh, sorry, Hanita. Hanita?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, you're recollecting all your olden days.
Yeah.
Okay, correct me if I'm going wrong, Hanita.
No, I don't remember completely.
No, I'm
Just a
just saying,
little
see, I
bit.
might be
Okay.
wrong, right? You can correct it. That's always knowledge is, if you keep it to yourself, you'll become fat. You should share it, then you'll become healthy. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
All right, good. Okay. Now, very, very important, guys. This slide is very important. If you're listening for first time, make sure you make some line notes at your end. Or if you're good in listening, please concentrate. Okay. So very important here. What is that? Agile is what? Incremental and iterative approach. Second, it will not allow in-depth planning, deep dive planning of the project at the beginning. Third, it will allow changes at any point of time in the project. Fourth, it is provide agile process provides constant feedback to testers and the developers from the end user. Next, fifth, all the business requirements are present in the product backlog. Out of the product backlog, who prepares those? Who prepare those requirements? Product owner,
Owner.
right? Out of the product or product backlog, who set the priorities? These to be developed first, these should be developed next, will be by product owner. All the
Product owner.
prioritized one will be moved from product backlog to the sprint backlog, right? From the sprint backlog, the team starts requiring the requirements, gather the requirements, and the next process follows. Right. Now, there is a new word, what you see on the screen, as cross-functional team, which is consist of one developer, tester, business manager, designers, etc. Okay. Now this word keeps on listening. Cross-functional team. So cross-functional team is something where it has a different meaning. The team who is working on multiple projects or multiple uh, you know small projects, or team who have multiple skill sets. Example, this function already knows Java, and he also already understands some .NET, or this person already knows manual testing. This person already knows performance. He already knows database XYZ. So like that, so they're having a cross-functional team who can dedicatedly work on these projects, right? Based on the requirement, they keep on allocating the resources. Okay, so don't worry about that. Just to understand, cross-functional team is again the team who is working on these projects. Okay, now move on to the next slide. Any doubts in that first slide, guys? Any doubts in the first slide?
No.
No, Vinod.
No,
No.
Vinod.
No? Okay. Now we understand what is agile methodology, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now we'll try to understand what is the history. So what you read on the screen is, right? See, agile is something it follows the concepts of agile manifesto. Again, this is all history, where as a tester, you need not to be concentrating, but yes, you should understand this. In this slide, there's an important line, which is agile is having 4 values and 12 principles of agile software development. Nobody will ask you, hey, please tell me what are those 12 principles one by one. I'll check whether you're telling correctly or not. No, you should understand what are those 4 values and 12 principles of agile methodology. Okay. Now, anyone, what would be the values or what will be the 12 uh, principles? Just try to guess. Try to guess. Any guesses?
No, Vinod.
Anita?
No, I'm sorry. Even remember
Sorry.
it.
Okay. That's fine. Why should be sorry? So if you know it, that's fine. Okay. See, end of the day, whatever is the core values right now, if you butify, that is fine, right? But if you are, let's say, if you don't want to butify, but you can talk about the knowledge, that is always good. See, first thing is the four values. The first one generally talks about how the individuals are interacting with the processes and tools. So there is a different tools that we use, different techniques that we use in Agile. So how are we actually interacting with those tools, right? How efficiently we are using those tools, right? Example, there might be if you there is a Jira which we use to track those requirements. There is a Jira which we use for while project is executed, we use for the sprints to take check how the user stories are prepared, right? So it is how the people are more highly using those processes and tools in order to expedite the overall process. So the first value talks about the processor and tools. The second one is again the working software or the comprehensive documentation. Now, what does that mean? It means, right, how the documentations are prepared and delivered. What kind of technical specifications, technical requirements, technical prospectus, what kind of interface design documents, test plans, test documentation, approval, everything. Like how are we actually preparing those documents over the working? And trust me, compared to other models, Agile is Agile don't encourage documentation. It will encourage very less documentation. What is required will have it. Okay. What is not required will not at all possible, or it's not required to prepare the documentation. So I want you to go through this four values. It is not mandatory for you, to be honest. To be honest, it is not mandatory for you. But for the interview purpose, you should know, right? Agile is having a four values and 12 principles. 12 principles that we can see, these are all 12 principles, right? At a high level note, if you can see, what is the first one? Our highest priority is to satisfy the customer through early and continuous delivery of value software. Continuous highest priority is the customer satisfaction. See, in waterfall model, what happened after a year, customer is seeing is demo, right? Unless and until all the phases are completed, customer is not able to see what is the end product. But whereas in the agile, we are delivering in the iterative model. Customer can get small demos. Hence, he knows it, how the product is looking like, how the product is being developed, right? He end of the day, by looking at those demos, customer will be satisfied. So in agile, the customer satisfaction is very important. The second one, changing requirements that we've already discussed. Agile welcomes changes, right? Third one, delivering working software frequently, from a couple of weeks to a couple of months, with reference to a shorter time scale. Third one is what we just discussed. We'll take three requirements or two requirements based on the product to backlog. Developers will start working, tester will start testing, deployment will happen, we'll have a demo to the customer will be satisfied. Now, this deployment will happen based on the time frame, maybe every month, maybe every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks, customer will get a demo. Every 1 month will customer. Now imagine, when say 1 month. So within that 1 month, design gathering of requirements will be happening, designing will be happening, development will happen, testing will happen, deployment happen, then demo will happen. So every month it is iteration process. These are all cycle keep on repeating every month, and every month deployment happens. Every month customer get the demo. Now out of 10 requirements, let's say 2 requirements started. 1 month, 2 requirements will be a demo. Second month, next 2 requirements will be a demo. Third month, again 2 requirements will be a demo. It means every month for 5 months, customer will get a demo. Every month he'll get a demo, and every like 2-3 months that will be added. Now, when I say how it is added, once the demo completes, customer satisfaction, right? First demo will deliver to customer. Now, second 2 requirements will come. So first delivery, right? Login page, compose page, then send page, and the draft page is done. So now 2 builds will be added together. Then customer has 4 requirements ready. So like that, all the 10 requirements will be released to the customer, right? Customer can see the working product. Then customer can decide when to go live. Customer can decide when to go live, right? Third one, right? Now the fourth one, right? Business people and developers must work together throughout the project. Now, what are the business people? The people who gives the requirements, right? Business team from the customer side. And who are the developers? From the project team. Developers are the one who are going to develop the project, right? Along with the testing team should work together to deliver the project. See, because they work together, they understand the requirement thoroughly. So Agile says, as a team, you should work together on a regular basis to get the sense of what is the requirements. Now, fifth one, building projects around motivated individuals, give them environment and support they need, and trust them to get job done. Right. So Agile is something where we get feedback constantly. Agile is the one where your manager watch closely he'll be watching you. Now, what is happening in the designing phase? What is happening in the testing phase? If tester is doing a good job, there will be appreciation email. If a developer is doing a good job, there will be appreciation email. So like this, it is a close call where the team will be working very, very close to understand those requirements, right? And Agile is a place where you have a healthy environment inside the project. It is a short-term project. It is not like waterfall model. You will work for 1 year and or it's only 1 year delivery. Now nicely we can work, we can take leisure. No, Agile is something. If you're going to deliver within a 1 month 4 requirements, now development team will be on toes. They will be understanding those requirements. They will be start developing it. The moment they complete the development, the testers will be ready with the test cases. The moment they are ready with the test cases, the build will be released. The testing will happen, right? So this kind of time frame will be there while working in. But compared to waterfall, Agile is something where you cannot live flexibly. You cannot say that I'll do my task tomorrow. Everything is already fixed. Developer will deliver on this date. That is fixed. Tester will be doing testing activities on this date. It is fixed. There will be demo on this date. It is fixed. Everybody has to work on this time frame in Agile. So that is where Agile sometimes it is a lot of pressure is there in Agile. But again, from the customer side, from the management side, always Agile is something we get more projects. More customers prefer Agile, but it is depends on the time frame the project team will be running. Okay, sixth, the most efficient and effective method of conveying information to and within the development team is face-to-face conversation. It is very important, guys. In Agile, in Agile, right? Generally meeting happens face to face. Now, because of Corona and because of, we are working in virtual mode. Okay. Now, trust me, I'll tell you one more thing. Context came. So 2008, 2019. Okay. 2019, I was working, right? This uh, Capital First Bank, right? Capital First Bank? Everyone sleeping nicely, huh? I don't know who's doing what. I need to on your
No, no,
video,
no.
sir.
No,
I need
no
to check
one
your
minute.
videos. Okay, so 2019, I was working with a company where we were migrating. So they want earlier it was a different one, but they want backend to be a Salesforce and middleware to be a MuleSoft. They want to migrate and they want to change the name. So I was the project manager for the project, and I was working closely with the client. So I was traveling from Hyderabad to Delhi, Delhi to Mumbai frequently to work with the client and to have a regular meetings with the client. Now 2019, I was coming from Delhi, right? So one of the project, Marriott Hotel, right? Marriott Hotels. So one of the Marriott Hotel where we want to develop a mobile application. So I went to Delhi to discuss these requirements with the client, and I was completing this. We have migrated from Capital First to IDFC. We have done that migration. What you see the project, right? IDFC Bank, IDFC Bank. Earlier it was Capital First. So we have done the migration project. Uh, we have delivered that project in 2019. And now 2019, I came back from Delhi, and that time, that was 2019, somewhere in the month of, I don't know which month it was. I came back from Delhi on that particular day, 2019. Until today, I did not go to office. Till today, I did not go to office. I'm working since 2019, work from home only. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now, because see why this context came. See, Agile, what it is, Agile specifically talks about face-to-face conversation. So when we are in the office, the Agile team works together. We'll have a separate aisle or separate seating position where the whole team will be working together. PM will be having a desk, developer will be sitting in one area, tester will be sitting in one area. So we'll have a face-to-face conversation. Agile encourages that. But whereas now, because of that virtual, because of that, now a lot of companies have moved to a virtual mode. Now I've changed the organization in 2019. In that organization also, I'm working from home since then. So now this face-to-face conversation is not happening because of the virtual mode. Okay, but Agile prefers always anything that needs to be discussed should be of face-to-face communication. Any feedback should be given face-to-face. Any escalation should be on face-to-face conversation. Correct. Now, next one, working software is a primary measure of progress. That is very simple. Now, every requirements that we deliver at deployment, any requirements that deliver, that is a working software. Now, login page and inbox page, both will be working. Both we can access, we can input the username, we can log in, and we'll see how it is navigating to the inbox. There's an example. It might be any requirements. So two requirements will be very huge, guys. Do not consider that only it is two requirements. In real time, there will be huge requirements when we talk about the project. Okay. Now, eighth one, agile processes promote sustainable development. Sponsors, developers, and users should be maintain a constant pace indefinitely. Right? See, this and all, it kind of, you can see the first time you're listening sponsors. If you are listening, right? Sponsored, the name itself says the person who sponsored the project, the person who is actually funding the project, right? Right. So what it says, Agile is saying that we have to maintain if a iterative development model, right? We have to properly take the requirements, properly developed, properly delivered, properly tested. This all should be a cyclic process. The speed should be maintained constantly. Now it is like this. Today you have taken two requirements, product backlog, to product owner told us to do it, and tomorrow you can't take it. No, I'll take three requirements. Now developer said I completed two requirements, I'll also complete other requirements. No. So that is all the development, all the testing, right, will happen in the similar or in the consistent speed, right? That depends on the product owner, which needs to be speed up, which needs to be slowed up. He is the one who has the complete business knowledge. Okay. Now, continuous attention to technical excellence and good design enhances agility. Now, again, this is again related to a developers, and of course, testers also should require testing knowledge. Now, as a developer or a tester, depends on the role. You should be focusing on the technicality. As a developer, you should be more worried of how is the development going on, whether I'm following the actual standards, whether I'm following the actual requirements, whether I'm following the best practices, whether I'm following the security. Did I implemented the security implementation correctly? Did I do the encryption correctly? Right? Did I the hard coded the required values? Did I change the uh, the test data or the data which is coming up? Did I hard code everything when it comes to developer? So he should very much concentrate on what is he developing, whether he is going in the right direction. The same thing as a tester, you may not be validated on technical, but it is good to have a technical flow of the project. You should good to understand how the project is working, right? That will again that itself tells us, the agility. Agility is clearly applied on the projects. 10th, simplicity, the art of maximizing the amount of work not done is essential. Right now, now we know there are two requirements, right? Now we know two requirements. The two requirements will be monitored, will be checked, will be delivered, will be deployed, will be developed, will be tested, will be deployed, right? Now, any requirement we selected or prioritized and picked up for the development should not be missed because this has been agreed. Every iteration will have a planning. Every iteration will have a discussion that what is been agreed, you should be delivering it. So you should not be missing out any of the agreed deliverables. This is a very, very crucial part in the agile. Right? What the next one says, the best architectures, requirements, and design emerge from self-organizing team. So this is another very important, guys. Agile is considered as a self-organizing teams. Self-organizing teams. It means that you should not be managed by someone. Agile encourages to work independently. You should deliver self. No one will ask you, hey, tester, did you complete the testing? Where are you? How many test cases is pending? How many executed? How many failed? If failed, have you raised the defects? If you have raised a defect, did you check with the developer? If you have checked with the developer, did you retested it? If you have retested, is it fixed or not? If it is not fixed, did you reopen it or not? If it is reopening, did you escalate it to the manager? There are so many defects which are reopened. Developer, what happened to your development? Did you complete it? If completed, it has been reviewed. It is deployed. If it is deployed, did you inform QA? So this is all the self-organizing teams where you should not have a person behind you. In Agile, actually, there will be no project manager. In reality, as per the best practices will Agile will not have a project manager. Agile will not have, right, someone you to check everything, whether you're doing it or not. Agile team is not managed actually, but in real time, we have someone to manage. Even Agile also, in what we see in reality, we follow project managers are there in the Agile projects. But as per the book standards, Agile team is a self-organizing teams. Right. The last one, the regular interviews, the team reflects on how to become more effective, then choose and adjust its behavior accordingly. Right. As it is a self-organizing teams, we know we receive feedbacks constantly from the end user. based on the feedbacks that we receive, it may be behavioral feedback from the customer. Customer might say, hey, the last time demo was very awkward. The person who was giving the demo, he was not actually putting the right context. So we will not be able to understand the demo. But I'll give you an example of real time now. Actually, I had a monthly uh, meeting, right? So we are working for a project called Kangan for the Australian University. So we have completed one phase of the project. Now, what one phase we have completed? That's the education domain actually. That's a university where they provide online courses, offline courses, and all the college activities. So first they want student enrollment followed by the payment gateway system. Now student can enroll for a particular course. He can apply for the course. The application is accepted. Then you can upload the documents and you can make the payment through payment gateway. So that is the first phase. So the monthly meeting where we have, I was the one who was driving it. Okay. But the payment gateway, my resource, out of all the resources, right? So my important one developer, she is from the Philippines. Okay. So she's very good. Okay. She's very good. She is very hard worker. She's technically she's very strong. But the Philippines will have lack of communication. They don't put it in a pleasant manner. They don't speak fluent English. They don't speak properly when compared to Indians, especially. I don't want to compare with other countries. Compared to us, they don't speak that much fluently. Now there was a demo on Tuesday. Now I was driving, so I prepared because it's a monthly reporting. As a manager, I have to prepare a lot of other slides. And in that slide, the payment gateway was one of the slide where technically she will be driving it. She will be explaining what was the solution. What after the demo, what happened? Demo went on successfully. Customer appreciated everything. Then after that, the CTO, her name is Michelle. She has messaged me on Teams. Okay, like we have Teams, right? So we have a Teams for that particular project, Kangan project. She has messaged me stating, "Hey, we know the presentation was very good, excellent. Thanks for driving, blah blah blah." Then she mentioned two lines. It would have better, you know, the lady who was driven the payment gateway. She was not sounding good enough in terms of communication. If she, it could have better if someone else would have driven, right? So so that's the feedback, right? Customer has given. So we have to take it. And that was correct, actually. She was not good in communication, though she was very, very good in technical. She was very poor in communication. That's why I keep on telling you guys, please be prepare communication skills. Now, here the context. We receive feedbacks like this from the customer. Now I have told her, hey, see, you are very good in technical, but I receive a feedback on this. Now she's working on it, she's preparing well. So she has to do it. At the age of 35 or 30, you can't improve the communication, right? That is all you should come from the beginning. But to an extent, you can practice, you can prepare well to make sure that you have a pleasant communication. In Agile also, the same thing. The feedback comes in behavioral aspects. The feedback comes in a technical aspects. In both ways, if someone is giving you the feedback, you should be implementing that in your upcoming sessions. Okay. Hope I know it is too boring, but there is no option. These 12 principles needs to be understood. And trust me, guys, if you want a job in testing, you should be very good in agile methodology. You should speak more, especially people 5+, 4+, 5+, 6+ experience. They're going for interviews. If someone is asking what is agile, then you can speak for 10 minutes. You can say the values, talk about principles. No need to talk all this 12. Talk about 2 or 3. The interview will be flattened. Trust me, right? But you put it in the right direction. Communication matters. Communication important. Okay, right. By this, we'll end this session. I'll not take much of your time, right? So Agile needs proper sessions, 2 to 3 sessions. We'll understand that. And we make sure we completely, I'll not run and complete this Agile. I'll make sure you understand this concept thoroughly. though it may take 1 or 2 days more. This theory needs more discussion, and followed by how we are going to implement agile in a real time. We'll see that, real discussions. We'll see how this is implemented in a real projects. We'll see the deep dive understanding on it. Okay. All right. Any questions on this? Whatever we have done so far?
No, Vinod.
No, Vinod.
No.
Okay, try to spend more time in understanding things. I know it is little bit heavy for now, but try to spend more time, then it will be easy for you. Okay, let me stop the recording.